Welcome to the Top 10 episode of the Altered Nostalgic. In this Top 10, we're going to take a look at the Top 10 Alpha Males in video games. The Top 10 Manliest Men, the most masculine he-men, men amongst men. The Top 10 Alpha Males in gaming history. Number 1. Kratos. Kratos first appeared in God of War on PS2 from 2005. As captain of the Spartan army, Kratos is one of the toughest protagonists in video games. His alpha male status is solidified by his successful conquests and acts of vengeance, such as becoming the Greek god of war after defeating Ares and going head-to-head against the almighty Zeus himself.
Zeus, your son has returned! I bring the destruction of Olympus!
Kratos' ability to bed beautiful women, defeat hordes of supernatural enemies, and overcome multiple deaths not only make Kratos an alpha male, but he is an alpha amongst other alpha male video game characters. His leadership qualities, his personal drive to protect his family and allies, and fearless demeanor make Kratos a complete badass with traces of human kindness and decency underneath his anti-hero persona. In real life, Kratos reminds me of people such as Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan, highly successful military leaders and warriors who got pretty much everything they wanted through battle and conquest. Number 2. Duke Nukem. First appeared in Duke Nukem on DOS from 1991. While Duke's first two games kept him a quiet protagonist, Duke Nukem 3D from 1996 evolved the character into a supremely badass alpha male. Politically incorrect, wisecracking, hyper-masculine, and dripping with charisma, Duke Nukem became the video game version of every popular 80s movies action hero.
If I promised to kill you last, I lied.
Standing at 6'4" and weighing 240 pounds, Duke fearlessly battled invasive aliens, sometimes much larger than himself.
It's all in the reflexes.
From his dirty, hairy voice and snarky demeanor, the countless beautiful babes that he can pull, and his overall aggressive manliness, Duke Nukem is one of the most iconic alpha males in video game history. In real life, Duke Nukem reminds me of an intense mix between Dog the Bounty Hunter, American Sniper Chris Kyle, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Number 3. Mario. First appeared in Donkey Kong arcade game from 1991. As Nintendo's enduring mascot, Mario is an Italian New Yorker who battles hordes of enemies across large areas such as the Mushroom Kingdom, the Dinosaur Land, and Sarasaland. Mario's main goal is often rescuing the damsel in distress and facing off against his arch-nemesis Bowser. Sporting a thick masculine mustache and plumber gear, Mario is clearly the top dog in all of Nintendo's roster. His younger brother Luigi is just a sidekick, while the entire franchise is built around Mario as the face of the company. From his superior jumping abilities and array of powerful weapons, Mario overcomes many obstacles in his path through and through. The residents of Mushroom Kingdom rely upon Mario to save the day, much like the city of Metropolis relies on Superman. In real life, Mario reminds me of people such as John Cena, AJ Styles, and Michael Jordan, franchise stars who can carry their companies and brands with enduring success and dominant force. Number 4. Jim Raynor. First appeared in StarCraft from 1998, one of the most likable protagonists in real-time strategy history. Jim Raynor will do anything to protect his allies and remain honorable until the end.
Howdy, boys. I'm Jim Raynor, marshal of these parts. Oh, yeah.
His strong leadership qualities, never-say-die attitude, and ability to forge friendships among the war-torn worlds of Brood War is inspiring and badass. He became captain of the Hyperion battlecruiser, leading his team, the Raynor's Riders, against the self-serving Emperor Arcturus Mengsk. His long-standing history with major characters throughout the series, such as Sarah Kerrigan, is endearing yet tragic. and Raynor stays relatable despite being surrounded by such powerful enemies in opposition. Staying true to his cause and followed loyally by his comrades, Raynor is a true example of a heroic character surviving and enduring among a galaxy full of chaos and mayhem. In real life, Jim Raynor reminds me of historical military leaders such as Tecumseh, Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla, and Geronimo. Number 5. Heihachi Mishima. First appeared in Tekken on arcades from 1994. As one of the most prominent fighting game bosses in history, Heihachi is arguably the most alpha male villain of 90s video games. As a young man, Heihachi overthrew and imprisoned his own father, Jinpachi, and took control of the Mishima Zaibatsu company. Then, he threw his own 5-year-old son Kazuya down a deep ravine to toughen him up. As an adult, Kazuya defeats Heihachi in Tekken 1.
Father.
But Heihachi returns in Tekken 2, the sequel, and defeats Kazuya, throwing his own grown-up son into a volcano. Heihachi is almost always the focus of chaos in the Tekken series, stirring up his enemies, competing against his own family members, and shapes the world for his own personal gain.
Wait, Father! Not yet! The fight's not finished yet! It's not over! I'll take...
Worthless.
In real life, Heihachi reminds me of men like Joseph Stalin and Vince McMahon Jr., a ruthless, cutthroat leader who rules with an iron fist and tries to eliminate everyone that gets in his way. Number 6. Blue. From Pokemon for the original Game Boy in 1996. In the Pokemon anime, his version was Gary Oak, the cocky and self-absorbed rival of Ash Ketchum. But in the original Pokemon games, Blue is the cocky, self-absorbed rival of Red. With his snarky attitude and competitive personality, Blue will sporadically challenge you to Pokemon battles as a test of his strength. With his arrogant attitude and disrespectful nature, Blue is one of the most memorable antagonists in RPG history. Once the childhood friend of Red, he belittles you, the protagonist, during each encounter to remind you how inferior you are compared to him. As final insult to injury, in the game, Blue becomes the Pokemon champion and fights you after the Elite Four. Blue is the rival when you think of Pokemon rivalries, or any game rivalry for that matter, a strong villain with traits of evil counterpart and worthy opponent. In the anime, Gary Oak doesn't battle as much, but his ability to quickly win badges and keep his own cheerleading fanbase are traits of a solid alpha male. Number 7. Akuma. First appeared in Super Street Fighter II Turbo from 1994 in the arcades. One of the strongest fighting game characters of all time, Akuma was a hidden boss that required players with special skill to appear in the first place. M. Bison was usually the last character that you had to face in the Street Fighter II series, so in order to fight Akuma, you need to get at least 3 perfect wins without losing or using any continues. When you reach M. Bison, Akuma appears and beats the shit out of Bison and becomes the new final boss in the game. Ever so mysterious and powerful, Akuma always gave the impression that he showed up only to face a worthy opponent strong enough to take him on. A jacked up Shoto clone, Akuma plays like a much stronger version of Ryu and Ken, and his brutal style has been well received by fans and critics alike. Akuma is a powerhouse who doesn't need to conquer the world or terrorize everybody. He was only concerned with being the strongest, the toughest. It doesn't get any more alpha male than that. Number 8. Marcus Fenix. First appeared on Gears of War from 2006 on the Xbox 360. Fighting against a malevolent locust is a gritty, grimy experience that required a protagonist so tough and strong he's practically a walking death machine. Marcus Fenix is your perfect jarhead alpha male, His ruthless aggression, tenacity, and leadership qualities make him a universal protagonist that anybody can cheer for. Marcus's main strength is his impressive combat abilities that turn the tide against the enemies, and his motivational influence to keep his squad fighting. During combat, if an ally gets stricken down, Marcus picks him up and yells, "Fight through the pain." This simple catchphrase is enough for anyone to keep shooting and never giving up the good fight. Marcus Fenix may not be the most complicated character in video games, but his sheer strength, accomplishments, and determination leaves a very lasting impression.
Doesn't work though.
I told you I'd fix it. Listen up. We don't have much time. Get back there and make sure that APC works. We're going in.
Marcus Fenix is an alpha male through and through. Number 9. Demob. First appeared on Def Jam Vendetta 2003 for the PS2 and GameCube. One of the more obscure choices in this list, Demob was the big villain in the original Def Jam Vendetta wrestling game. Voiced by Chris Judge, Demob is a large, hulking crime boss and nightclub owner who runs all the underground fights in New York City. Standing at 6'6" and weighing 295 pounds, Demob was one of the most intimidating video game bosses that you can ever face.
So y'all think that was a fight? That was no fight, and those two ain't sh**.
Everything revolved around Demob and his beef with the game's protagonist, your character. He took your ex-girlfriend, Angel, played by the beautiful Christina Milian, and now he wants to make you suffer. Throughout the game, Demob sends his goons to attack you, constantly taunting you and making you feel like his bitch. He's the alpha male, the top dog, and everybody else works for him. In a game full of colorful rappers such as Method Man, DMX, and Ludacris, Demob is definitely the most interesting character in the roster because he had a personality that challenged your very own manhood. He was the man. Number 10. Nathan Drake. First appeared in Uncharted Drake's Fortune in 2007 for the PS3. Nathan Drake is one of the most realistic characters and relatable protagonists. He's focused, charismatic, courageous, with a likable everyman persona. Drake's athletic prowess and superior climbing abilities make him seem almost superhuman, particularly during some of the more absurd moments and wild escapades he goes through.
Oh, jeez.
Nonetheless, his light-hearted demeanor and sense of humor make these situations more entertaining because it's like the game acknowledges its own ludicrousness.
You always been this popular?
Well, I do seem to attract the scum of the earth.
With Nate Drake, we're presented an alpha male character who is calm, collected, and is always in control of his situation. From his powerful fighting skills, handsome looks, ability to date various beautiful women, and successful treasure pursuits around the globe, Nate Drake is the video game version of classic adventure heroes such as Indiana Jones and Zorro. So those are the top 10 alpha males in video games. The top 10 alpha male video game characters, very strong, very confident, and they are men's men through and through. This is a top 10 Ultra Nostalgic right here on youtube.com, TheReviewSpace.